Hey there, gamers. Welcome back to Cryptic Gaming. I hope you've been having a wonderful week. So we are now fresh in on Oaths of War. Pretty nice little screen there as you load into the game. Definitely looking forward to seeing that. So I just come and checked at Unita. I'm not seeing anything new there. Wasn't expecting to. There are some new items over here at Blackwood, and then we're going to dig into this pass. So there's going to be some new changes here. Used to, you could actually link infamy progression to your SP progression. That is no longer the case with this update, and we've seen it kind of dwindling away from that in the last season as we were trying to get you some information out how to get through it quicker. They've now made a lot of changes, so we're going to go over some of that here tonight as well. Then we're going to jump in and start doing some grinding. So here in the buy sell, you can see that your cup for bars, hopefully you caught that community post where they had updated after our video the other day that they were actually removing cup for bars. You're going to be able to spend those or exchange them for silver later. So but we're looking at some new items. You're going to have ammo priming bench. That's the new furniture. You're going to have the Nova armor. This is pretty cool. It's reactive armor that triggers an explosion when you hit your bracing. So I'm looking forward to earning some of the deep iron for this stuff. Man, that's looking pretty awesome on there. Actually, it looks like guild marks is what it's going to be. So I have to figure out how we're going to earn these guild marks as well in the game. And this is going to be a progressive pass, man. They've changed a lot of stuff in the game. So just bear with me as we break into this stuff. But I'm going to bring it out in chunks. It's going to help you be able to learn it as we learn it as well. Maybe save you some headaches. So the Hero Guard, this is a new armor. This is supposed to help with those piercing and punctured events that you end up having, those ships that come in and one-shot you. This is supposed to help with that. They have nerfed some of those ships down a little bit in Tier 1 and Tier 2 based off of their levels, so that's not going to be so much of an issue here now. And of course, the Royal Sentinel Spring Loader. This sounds like it's going to be pretty awesome. It deploys a Sentinel device buoy which detonates and applies shell shock to the enemy that enter in operation range. So it's basically like a mine almost, and it explodes and then produces that shell shock. Now, if you use that brig, that ship that has the Artificer perk, this is something that's really going to bring that ship to life. So that's going to be pretty cool to see that action come take place in this game here. Now, the Roaring Meg. This is basically a Mons Meg mortar type of a device, which is going to be used toward forts, taking out walls and things like that, eliminating any rivals of DMC fortifications. So that's going to be pretty awesome. Then, of course, the Storm Vigil. This is a new rocket system. Now, we're going to have to see how this basically matches up against, say, a Warhammer, but it sounds like it's going to be pretty awesome as far as just the effects it's on this thing. It's got the torrent effect, range 60 rockets over extended period of time, causing 50% flooding damage as dealt as severe damage. Now, well, that doesn't help you too much against other ships because, the severe damage against NPCs is negligible anyway. But you're going to have that flooding 2 perk, plus it really adds flooding damage on here. So that's going to be something that if you use a Brigantine, this is going to be an awesome ship. If you have the upgraded Brigantine where it now boosts your flooding perks, you definitely want to pick that up. And then, of course, now there's some, basically the same things that you could get last season from the first year that you could pick up. They did do something different here now. It looks like you can get the schooner, the Garuda, the battle junk, the brig, and of course the bark right here from Blackwood, and they're all loaded up in the general tab here. So that's going to be pretty awesome to see that. Now let us jump over to the past, because this is where we're going to learn a few new things. Now, like I said, you're going to have to run through different events. Now, according to what I've been reading here, when you come into, this is your basic view here, by the way. You got your quartermaster, your gunner master. Gunner master is where that new demi cannon is actually located. It is the Thunder Dragon cannon. I'm looking forward to opening those. Now, for those of you who were hoping to get some Divine, or the Heaven's Mandate, I think they're called, or something like that. Let's check this long gun out. Yeah, Divine Thunders. That's actually in the past now, so you're going to be able to pick those up as well. So I've got plenty of them, but it doesn't hurt to have a few more. Then, of course, cosmetics and things like that. It's up to you if you want to buy a premium pass. You do not have to. You will not get the cosmetics if you don't buy it, but that's up to you. So there are some awesome little things in here. So you got this Worm Hides armor. Read a few things on that. That sounds like it's going to be a pretty awesome little armor to have as well. So that's going to be under your quartermaster. Now, as we tab over, it looks like they have a upgrade part, exotic material selection. I'm not entirely sure what this is. This is, I think, as you upgrade, maybe. It doesn't really give a lot of information on this. So we're going to have to learn some of this stuff in this new system. But I think this is just a tier system. You spend 10, you spend 20, you spend 30, you spend 40, and then 45 to frigate. They just have revamped it. This is showing those when you spend enough tokens, you get that. So 45 tokens for that frigate class. And then it looks like this Pinnacle store is going to have some things. You're going to be able to get a Rhapsody of the Deep armor, a Buoy Locker armor, Infernal Maul armor, the Carronade armor. I'm sorry, blueprint, Carronade blueprint. You're going to be able to get the Thunder Dragon cannons, not the blueprint for that. So it's going to be pretty interesting to get some of this stuff, the Infernal Maul blueprints. If you were looking for those, then of course you're going to be able to earn these. So it sounds like they're making it so that you can spend your points, smuggler points elsewhere now. So that's going to be pretty cool. I'm guessing we're going to be able to keep earning some and then buy them from the smuggler pass is almost what it's looking like. So these are the basic challenge, but there's more to this than this. So you can actually come in here. These are your weekly tiers. Now they say that tier 2 pays twice what you see here in tier 1. I need to load into tier 2. It loaded me up in 1 for some reason, but you got 4 challenges to give you 500 SP. It takes 1,000 SP to still earn a token, so you would have to essentially run these 4 challenges. It could be any 4 challenges in the game. A hostile takeover event, you can run that, whether it's solo PvP, up to you. Complete 10 plunders, any plunders. You could go straight outside St. Anne and just run the easy maps. That's 10. That's going to give you 500 tokens as well. So you're going to be able to use some of the old little tricks that we had, but it's not tied to your infamy anymore. So that's something you need to be aware of. Complete contract 1 Elite 10 dangerous there, so that means you're going to have to complete that contract as well with her. Then of course your seasonal rewards are going to pay. Now from what I had figured up here, it looks like if you run through all of your seasonal rewards here, let's just see, so it'll be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 19, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 31, 33, 35. Looks like there's 35 tokens you can earn under seasonal in tier 1. Now the question is, can you grind out tier 1 and then go to tier 2 and grind a seasonal pass over there? So that's kind of what I was wondering, whether we'd be able to do that. So let us pop over and check that out. I'm almost betting we're going to be able to, but until we know for sure over here, I don't want to give you wrong info here. Now, one of the things that has been frustrating with the game here lately is we try to give you some of the information that has worked in the past in year 1 and even in season 1 here of year 2. But as you can see, Ubisoft has kind of gotten wise to a lot of this stuff. They watched how we did the pass and how we completed it basically within just a few hours rather than it taking weeks or even over a month to do. And they've slowed us down by removing the infamy SP crossover. So now you have to earn that with the actual events here. So we're going to pop back over here real quick. Okay, apparently we failed a contract. I didn't realize we had one up. So let's go ahead and bring up our board here again. Okay, so when you see things like Jonas Vanderkill, this is going to give you those guild faction points, it looks like. So you're going to be able to go over to that event and run that. Now, you should be able to look at these at, you know, tier 1 or tier 2. You're going to get more in tier 2 than you do tier 1, obviously. But what I want to see here is it looks like the weekly progression is actually paying the same amount. Now, they said it was going to pay double, but that is not what I'm seeing. So the actual mission, seasonal progression and weekly progression, I would recommend just run that in tier 1. You're going to earn the same amount of points. I think what the actual difference is going to be, I apologize again for all the pop-ups. Anytime they do an update, you're going to get a million pop-ups. So I think what we're actually going to see the difference on here is going to be the difference between what this pays out. So we're going to be able to see, like, we can get the points. It's not going to actually show us how many points he plays, but let's check over at tier 1. and see what it is he's got there. Like I say, and we're going to close this video out, and I got to get to grinding, guys. Looks like more people are loading in. I'm seeing guys in the Discord community popping in, and I definitely want to hop in and grind with them, but I'm going to have to make my way back over here to tier 2 to do that, but because we want to earn as much as that iron as we can. But it's just nice to jump over to a video here and check it out, so you can see. If you're a solo farmer, then obviously you're probably gonna have to grind some things in tier 1. But if you're looking for a crew, definitely join Banished Souls. We're gonna put that down in the comments, a link for that. If those links expire, just give me a shout out, let me know, and I'll kick you a new link. They do expire, unfortunately. It's supposed to last for 7 days, but it's almost like once so many people join through it that it needs a new link as well. So I need to check some of the settings on that, I reckon, or get with our lead to do that. So okay, so Philip Lepest, he's going to have some points there, but no, you're not seeing as many rewards there. So we're looking where there's going to be some pretty cool stuff on here. You're going to be able to progress in season or in tier 1, but you're also going to be able to progress faster probably in tier 2. So definitely looking forward to it. Y'all have a wonderful day. I hope this video is giving you some ideas and some things to look at. And I know that you wanted to see that new ship. I don't have it opened up yet, but I can give you the little teaser here in the codex for it as we close out. And this is going to be the new frigate, the Eclipse frigate class, and it is unmatched defenses. It is a tank class. It has a grit perk that gains a stack of grit each time you take your damage, and it's going to upgrade your armor by 40, a maximum of 10 stacks. Each stack of grit lasts 15 seconds. Allied XSML, SML, and medium ships. So I'm guessing that's extra small, smalls, and mediums within 200 meters. Take 10% reduced damage as well when you have 10 stacks of grit. So it actually really helps a lot of the friendly ships in the area. Colossal, massive amounts of whole health with a 30% reduction of sailing speed in rivers in shallows. So you have a lot of health, but you have reduced sailing speed in the rivers and shallows, guys. Abundant in gun ports. So high number of gun ports at the expense of exposed weak points, taking 30% increased damage. Now, according to the patch notes that they released, that 30% increased damage is only supposed to be in PvP situations like death tides, if you got your flags up. It's not supposed to be PvE against NPC ships putting anything towards you an extra 30%. We'll just have to wait and see how it works out. As a lot of times I tell you, what they say and then what ends up being delivered can be different at times, guys. And I'm not trying to hate on the game, I'm just being real with you. As you can see, there's been a lot of changes within this game system where they cut the infamy off of SP progression and so on and so forth, yada yada yada. Now, will there be some options where plunders and things like that are going to be able to give you certain types of materials? Well, that's going to be a big question here. I'm seeing nothing new over there with Megafort Houston. Pieces of 8 looks like will be a great option, but as we grind out, I will definitely be letting you know. Since there's a 5 and up there, we are going to have in World Tier 2 the actual Megafort, and you have to be in World Tier 2, and it sounds like it's going to take 5 to 6 people. We're going to load that up real quick because I want to cover that as we're in this video here and closing out. But that sounds like that's going to be a great way to earn that deep iron and things in the game as well, guys. So okay, going back to World Tier 2. As you can see, when I went to it on Tier 1, it did not allow any kind of anything on there. It didn't show anything. So we're going to go to Tier 2 and see. Tier 1 didn't show anything. Tier 2, maybe it'll show something here. Let's check it out. But I'm definitely looking forward to getting in and grinding this stuff out. I don't think it's going to be too bad, guys. Like I say, typically when you're grinding out the infamy stuff, you're actually completing those pass items. I mean, honestly, is what you're ending up doing there. I do like how they have the new World Tier 2 that just pops up and lets you know. I'm not sure what the compass is and all that. I think that's just something that you can turn in. So those are going to be pretty awesome as well. Let us check out the new Megafort. Does it show up on here? Okay, we're going to have to check that in another video. So we can just go ahead and fast travel out here, I reckon, and see what the load up looks like. Being you're already here watching, you don't want to be waiting on another video. So this is something you're going to want to see. Okay, now These ship used to be fantastic against forts, and even the Mega Fort Houston. My guess is it's going to... Oh, wow, look at this thing. Powerful captains with Pirate Lord ranks have a high chance to drop ascension modules and ascended gear. Now, let's see what we've got here with our new fort. Look at this. This is crazy. This is going to be awesome. So it is a level 17 fort from what it looks like. Let's go ahead and a couple rounds at it. See what happens as we shoot. We did absolutely 0 damage. Okay. Now my understanding is you're going to have to actually have 5 folks to come up to be able to join that. A minimum of 5, I think it was. Could be 6, but it seemed like they said 5 in the note. So when you show up with 5 of your friends, you should be able to grind that thing out up to 20. So you can bring an entire server. So that's going to be pretty awesome. See, that is crazy. I mean, we've seen some of the damage coming off of the ships. We did not get to actually see any of the stuff coming from the fort. So we're just going to have to wait and see what that looks like. Y'all have a wonderful evening.